all 4 of these guys, of course, are going to be able to bring their A game to the table.
Yeah, so now let's talk about the team they're going to be going up against, Team Kaliber.
Oh, God.
This is a team you saw them so much throughout Black Ops 2, a contender, always a T2 team throughout the majority of Black Ops 2, but these guys, they've hit a bit of a rough patch here in Black Ops 3. Same boat as Luminosity. They've shown some top level of Call of Duty, and they've shown some not so great level of Call of Duty, but this is a team. I was talking to them a little bit yesterday. They don't really enjoy playing online too much. They're really excited to be going here online.
I was about to say, going back and looking through everything that's gone down in the CWL, I think TK has to be the most confusing team that's participating because they've lost to pretty much everybody, but then the wins they do have are against teams like Complexity and FaZe. So TK, when they're on, they can turn it on and compete with everybody, but then they just have weird rough patches, as you've said, where it seems like everybody can beat them. But, of course, this is a team that definitely, I think they've always been able to perform better on land than online, so definitely expecting good things out of these guys.
All right, moving into the ban and protect phase theory. Started things off taking out the Purifier. It was Saints to take out Rapid Fire, High Caliber, and the HCXD to follow up. There go the tactical grenades as well, and I always love seeing the HCXD get banned. I think that's a score streak fairly easy to earn, and you just get so much utility and so much use out of it.
Overclock's another one that we've been seeing a decent amount so far to this tournament, and it makes complete sense. Specialists have the opportunity to just completely blow up in a game. You can just imagine, if the Purifier had not been banned, if that was the first thing used, you can guarantee yourself 30 seconds on a hill with that if you use it properly. Yeah. And, of course, Overclock is just going to give you more and more attempts to use those specialists.
Yeah, Kinetic Armor will be the final thing to get banned out for Team Kaliber. Now, the one question I have about TK going into this game is, how are they going to match the slang that Luminosity bring to the table? I mean, John and Saints, they go big just about every single game. I mean, Saints, he's one of the most consistent slayers we have in Call of Duty, so I need somebody from TK to step it up and try to challenge these players from Luminosity.
If I had to pick a guy for TK to be able to fill that role, I think it's going to be Goonjar for me. Goonjar, at the very least, is going to have to play incredibly consistently for TK, to be able to see some success. He was a player throughout Advanced Warfare that didn't see, this kind of same performances that he would have obviously liked to have, especially not compared back to, Ghost and Black Ops 2. So he's fallen off a little bit, but now he's trying to make the full force comeback to return to true Goonjar form of the Donut Shop boys.
It's looking like all the specialists are going to be a mirror matchup, so both teams have the same tools available for them. But since that Purifier got banned out, that's where we're going to see the Annihilator come into play. Spacely picking that up for Luminosity, and Theory on the side of Team Kaliber. Curious to see how Active Camo and Heatwave, of course, they're going to have a huge effect on this game. Can't wait to see how these guys decide to use them.
Well, if anything, to me, Active Camo, I think, is going to be one of the important ones for this. Because obviously, you have your Scythe, your Annihilator. Those are always incredibly straightforward for the points of Hardpoint. But Heatwave, we always know what it can do. But Active Camo, how effectively are you going to be able to use that? We see it all the time where people pop it, run, 30 feet, and then absolutely nothing happens. No one gets spotted. They have no gunfights with it. But all the other ones, something is going to happen with it. So if you can utilize those trickier specialists, you'll be in great shape.
Oh, yeah, that's for sure, especially because Kinetic Armor got banned out. That's why we're not seeing that here. But going to be an interesting game for sure. And, there's a recent change to the hardpoint rotation on Breach. The first hardpoint and the third one just getting swapped here. I think it plays out a lot better. I'm really liking the new rotation here.
Yeah, I really appreciate the consideration that was taking into it. Obviously, on the Palace Hill for where it was originally, there was the team spawning over by Broken Side that had, a slight advantage getting to the hill.
Because they got into it a little bit quicker.
Yeah, just ever so slightly, but obviously you don't want spawns to be able to dictate anything because if it comes down to, a 2-3 point game, if it's a close match, that could potentially be the difference maker. Now, of course, thrown just straight into the middle of the map, completely out in the open. It's going to be an absolute bloodbath, and of course that messes with rotations a little bit, and considering the patch was a little bit recent, potentially if either of these teams are more practiced on it, it might be beneficial, but both of these teams, I have to imagine, are just going to be very well acquainted with it.
Oh yeah, I could agree with that, and because the HCXC got banned out throughout that phase, what do you expect to see in terms of score streaks? Just Lightning, Hellstorm, maybe like a Cerberus, or?
Going to be quite a few Cerberuses. Maybe someone's going to get a little bit ballsy and go for the Wraith. Occasionally, we even see the Raps get brought into play. I was about to say, there's always like one. I even heard Studdy screaming earlier. He was like, you guys are actually really lucky I didn't put the Raps on because it would have been game over for you. But, hey, everything's straightforward so far. We've seen these guys play time and time again. We know what to expect for them. But, of course, best of 7 series. They want to get off to a hot start because this is the first game they've played. And, well, the tournament started yesterday.
Yeah. The player I want to watch at the beginning of the series has got to be Saints, man. He is such an explosive player. As we were talking a bit about him earlier, so consistent. Like, you rarely see Saints go negative in a game. He's one of those players that could just guarantee you like 30, 35 kills per game. Like, it's honestly crazy that some of the things that Saints can do when he gets in game. So the map has loaded. The game is about to begin. Starting things off with Saints from Luminosity.
Yeah, Saints, when he's on, and when he's off, he's average. And, worst case scenario, the guy's, breaking even. That's perfectly acceptable. And, well, going to be the first one inside the hill, and Replay is also going to be able to do a little bit of damage with that nade. But either way, early points going in favor of Luminosity until Saints gets stuck with that grenade sharp as Kobe's are on point.
Yeah, playing catch with the Semtex right there. And Spacely, he's going to catch one too. Switching over to Gunjar. This is the player you were looking out for Team Kaliber. If he has a big game, if he's able to contest the slaying power from Luminosity, it's going to really help TK out in this matchup as Gunjar turns around, takes down Replays. One more to take care of, but he gets shut down. But explosive start from Gunjar so far.
Yeah, and of course, even when he gets shut down, he still puts a burst into that player and leaves him weak for his teammates to get that easy cleanup kill. So Gunjar really doing all he can, at least early on. And you can see Luminosity taking full advantage of this. They have a 28-0 lead, and of course, John already beginning to rotate. He's leaving his teammate in the hill. Of course, Spacely is going to get taken down, so John's going back for the gunfight, and he's going to make sure to get that scrap. Gets the streaks, gets shut down, but Gunjar on rotation has fallen off the map. So Luminosity, not only do they have a 31-2 lead, they have the spawns and the early rotation.
Every interaction I see John get, it has such a high impact on the game. Like, because he's playing in the hardpoint so often, here you see him pushing out the cuts. He's got 2 players to take care of, only able to clean up 1, but being able to get so many kills inside the hardpoint, it must take a lot of pressure off of your teammates.
And John in the back of the hill was able to pick up an important kill on Theory 3, trying to overextend and go for that flank, but gets caught immediately. So now you can see everyone from TK just trying to flood in through side. They're able to win the first 2, but you see as soon as someone gets into the hill, then they have to deal with Saints. Saints was able to pick up 1. Gunjar going to be there to shut him down, and it looks like he's going to be able to break through, but still going to get naded out. And now it's just going to be a battle where there's going to be a bit of contesting coming in before the rotations, but Luminosity has an incredible lead so far.
Yeah, TK, they're going to have to try to get this scrap time. It looks like they will be able to lock it down as Luminosity. They're just going to invest this time in the rotation over towards the Palace hardpoint. You see they're already going to solidify their position, throwing down those trophy systems. And the idea on pretty much every hardpoint on this map is you want to push out both sides, force the opponents to spawn out as far away as you can. And take a look at Replays, man. He spawned out a little bit, but he's going to put himself in a great position to flank behind these enemy players.
Yeah, there is one player mid just waiting for TK for his teammates to push up, and as soon as that player makes a move, that was Theory. Replays, again, as you said, in perfect position. So now TK getting those flip spawns is going to see how long it takes Luminosity to recognize this, because there's 3 players from TK getting ready to push in. Spacely still staring at that middle section. Now he's going to turn to the left, but doesn't even need to do anything. His teammates are going to win the gunfight, so Luminosity gets the early control, and they have held on for all 30 seconds so far.
I mean, TK, they need to find a way to break into the hardpoint. Luminosity, I mean, firstly, how long did it take TK to kind of set that up? As Sharp, he's going to try to break in with the camel. He will be able to get some control here, but look at his teammates. They're pretty far away, and it's looking like Luminosity, once again, they're more than happy to clean up the scrap or give up the scrap time. Rotate over. John still has these score streaks. He's got active camel to work with. TK, they need to start working a little bit quicker in terms of breaking the hard point.
Yeah, and so far this is not a good sign for TK either, because the only times they've been able to break the hill, they have to do it with the specialist. We saw Sharp using the active camo last time. Here, though, Gunjar is going to be able to win 1 gunfight in the hill, and you see he's able to pick up a VMP as well, but then you see the specialists are going to strike right back in Luminosity. They gave up control of the hill for, 5 seconds, and then immediately come flooding back in to take control just to keep extending their lead, now by over 50 points.
Yeah, Spacely, his teammates are just so far away coming off the respawn. It's going to be Replays now leading the charge for LG, and they just need to slow down here. There's still some good time to be had on this hard point, but as that push fails for LG, I think they're just going to give it up and rotate over to the next one.
Well, TK starting to get back in it then. If they get these next 20, they're going to make it a much closer game. So the rotations, though, of course, as you said, coming in, Luminosity right now has the good spawn. So what is TK going to do to try and get this? Well, it looks like Sharp is going to be the one going on that full flank. He is going to be sitting top AC, working his way down. Has a gunfight in the back, going to win that. Gunjar, though, has fallen off the map. That's the second time we've seen him do that, and that is not going to help anything.
Yeah, that's really going to hurt this push.
You can see Luminosity, not only do they have control of the hill, they were able to maintain their spawns as well. And so that, 15 seconds TK spent trying to flank, they're going to have to do it all over again.
All right, but it's going to be Theory. He finds 1, takes down Saints. Now TK starting to chain together some kills, and if they could hold on to this hard point, they're going to be in the lead chance, as all they need to do is make sure they defend themselves. Theory working towards some streaks. He's going to challenge his player inside the hard point. Those get shut down just short of earning those streaks, but Sharp is there to trade the kill. TK, they're making this one a game.
Well, they're making the comeback, as you said, just under a 20-point differential. They still have control. Luminosity, though, you can see what they're doing. They have 3 players pushing in from 3 separate entrances, and, well, Replays didn't even need all the help. He's able to pick up 2 with that pistol. Some of the pros, they have just an insane trigger finger with the MR6, and I've even seen just specific bans attacking players because they're capable of that. So just something to think about as this series goes on, but it is going to be Luminosity still sitting in control, but earlier on, they looked much better, but TK, of course, was starting to make the comeback. So after the first set of rotations, it is going to be Luminosity with the lead, but only by less than 20 points.
Yeah, and all these players, they got some specialists to work with. Annihilator gets deployed by both teams. Theory picks up 2. Basically gets nothing done with his Annihilator, and John's here. He's going to get cleaned up as well. So TK, once again, they're picking up some kills, and here come the shrieks from John. He's going to call in the Hellstorm missile, able to find 1 as 3 go down for TK. The Scythe from Gunjar gets shut down as well. Saints leads in with the Heat Wave, breaks into the Hardpoint as LG looking to build their lead once again.
Oh, God. Did that Heat Wave just have absolutely no effect on Saints?
Didn't look like it did.
That is pretty crazy, and Saints is going to win the gunfight because of it, so he's going to be able to retain control of this hill, and now TK is going to have to set up once again. You see they are going to have pretty much that middle hill completely surrounded. 2 players over by AC, 2 win over to Broken. Saints, though, still sitting on that side of the hill, is going to be going back and forth. However, he is going to challenge Gunjar, and, well, Gunjar had an M8 in that situation. Things are going to pay off for him, but now Replay is going to be that guy to watch, and he's going to get taken down. He was trying to be a nuisance in the back of the map. TK, though, sniffed him out, so they are going to have the early control of the next hill, but Sharp going to be the man to try and anchor these spawns, and he's getting challenged pretty quickly.
Yeah, he's going to go ahead and pop his camo, and these are huge kills for Sharp to make. Unfortunately, he's just unable to do so. That's going to give control of the spawns to Luminosity as the Lightning Strike gets called in. Theory desperately trying to defend himself inside the Hardpoint. He's got some help from Nezo, but the nades come in. LG, they make the kills. Sharp trying to follow up. He's able to find 2. Now it's coming down to Gunjar. He can't find the kills. Luminosity, they break in as they start to build themselves a 30-point lead.
That's a trade that Gunjar needed to get as well. Sharp led the way just for getting the 2-piece, but now TK is going to have to try and set up once again. That's going to be all 4 down, not in their favor. Gunjar was able to pick up 2, but this is why the good spawns are so important. Luminosity can afford for those 2 players to drop.
Yeah, you just spawn right at that back door.
5 feet away, and they're immediately able to come back and help, and you can just see what TK has to do. They have to go all the way around.
It's not even worth pushing at this point.
Yeah, they've already given up. Gunjar is already sitting in Palace waiting for people to push over by AC, and the other 2 TK players are going to be coming through mid-map, and it looks like they're winning their early gunfights, although Replays is doing some damage over by Broken. But TK does have the early control of the hill, but they are still working from a pretty big deficit by almost an entire full hill's worth of 60 seconds.
Yeah, well said, Chance. And, you know, speaking a bit more about that last Hardpoint, I mean, TK, they won the rotation there, right? They took down Replays. They took control of the spawns. Unfortunately, Sharp died while popping his camo. Wasn't able to find kills, and LG, once they took control of spawns, they were able to break in. But now TK, here comes the Heat Wave. It's going to be Saints pushing in, but Theory is able to trade the kill. Both these teams just fighting for control, and in the end, LG, they're just going to win out on the trades. John now taking fire, but he's got some help from Spacely. LG, man, it seems like on their first push on like every hardpoint, they're just able to break in and take control.
It seemed weird too, because it was Saints that pushed in first, and he wasn't waiting for his teammates. He just came flying in. I was a little bit confused. Then he pops the heat wave, and it worked out perfectly. His teammates came in immediately after that, and they were able to break through. Of course, we saw it once before. TK was able to break through on the Palace Hill, so they do strike right back. And again, they were down by a full 60. They've been able to cut that deficit to about 30 points, and the fight is going down now. Luminosity has control.
I think Nestle has to
on,
use his heat wave to break here,
and that's what he potentially is going to be going for it. Uses it in the wrong corner. Theory, though, is going to be able to trade that kill, so TK is going to be in control early on, but potentially it would have been nice to have that specialist later on. Still, though, Luminosity all coming from the bottom left of the map, except the one player flanking in from the front. Going to see how well they time this break. You see John was able to win one gunfight. Space is going to get inside the hill as well. Gunjar just relying on his teammates to do some damage, and, well, he's put himself in a perfect position, able to get two. Those players were distracted by his teammates, and Team Kaliber right back in this game, now just down by 10 points.
Yeah, Nezo needs to stay alive inside this hardpoint. His teammates, look how far away they are spawning. Chance LG. It looks like they might give up on some of these final seconds, but no, it's going to be John pushing in. Sharp wins that gunfight, pops his camo as well. One more player to get past. He's unable to do so, as it's looking like this hardpoint game is going to come down to the wire. Basically continuing to do damage inside the hardpoint. He now has his Annihilator.
Well, potentially going to be the final hill. Luminosity is going to be 20 points away from winning. TK is only going to need about 33.
Sharp
The
could go big
control is
here.
going to go early on for Luminosity. Sharp is going to have to move fast. He's working in the back, but still Luminosity in control. They don't have much time. 2 players from TK are spawning so far away. Sharp's going to get taken down from the back. 15 seconds now. Luminosity is going to win this one. TK going to need to flood in from the front. They're going to send 1 top AC, 1 just in the front. Theory's going to be there. John, though, going to win that gunfight. Sharp trying to come in. He's going to get taken down just 5 seconds away before TK needs to get in this hill at least to contest.
Yeah, that might do it right there. TK, they're forced to flood through. Theory, though, with the Annihilator finds 1, can't pick up any more, as John's now just going to lock down that front door, and that's going to do it for the first map. Luminosity take it 250 to 217.
I got to give credit to TK. They made it a fight again. They were down by such a huge amount early on, but Luminosity, again, were able to do everything right, and they put themselves in the better position. Even in that last hill, they have control. Sharp is the only one that potentially could have mixed things up a bit coming in from the back. As soon as he gets taken down, though, they don't have enough time to really set up anything substantial. Yeah. They basically just have to flood in 1 by 1 and just, pray that they can win their gunfights.
I mean, just looking at the scoreboard, man, TK, they really lacked in the slang department. Only 1 player going positive, and that was Sharp at 28 and 27. Everybody else going negative. Whereas on the LG side, you have John 35 and 25. Saints went 30 and 24. And these are players that are getting lots of defense as well. They're racking up a lot of time on the hardpoint. So you could tell that these are high impact kills, important interactions that they're getting along the map. And that one question I had about TK, how are they going to answer the slaying power from LG? Didn't look like they had a good response, even though it was a fairly close game.
It's definitely going to be a situation where TK, they don't have like the slaying power as like a collective team where they can afford to have anyone go double negative. It's not like you're out the gaming where if 1 player goes double negative, the other 3 just take it up so far like to another notch that they can still blow teams out. TK needs all 4 players firing on all cylinders. But of course, this is the interesting thing about the best of 7. Only 1 map in the books. TK, again, they were down early on, made a little bit of a comeback. It is a tough loss, but they can definitely bounce back. This is nowhere near over.
Yeah, so the next map is going to be Fringed Search and Destroy. We've seen the kind of damage replays can do with the sniper rifle, but Theory, I'm going to be looking at him in the Search and Destroy. If he could kind of, maybe counter-snipe replays in most of these rounds, and depending on how that Banner Protects phase goes, I think the sniper rifles are going to be very important on this map.
It's an interesting battle, too. I know replays a lot of times